In and jam him now. Jody Davis sitting up inside.
Here's a ball well hit to left center field. Well enough to get the run home. McReynolds also tags at first, but he's just bluffing. Strawberry cruises home. Sac fly for Lions. 1-0 Mets. It would take one of Strawberry's best shots to drive one through this wind and out of the park today. At least until this rain passes over. Because that ball was well hit by Lions, at least well enough to make the warning track as they waited out. Looks like a ghosts convention. Well, they're playing in Los Angeles. The Reds and the Dodgers. Let's go. But you're going to hit it on the ground. 2-2 with the runner going here. Here's the throw from Lyons. He got him. And he needed a perfect throw to barely nip Sandberg at second.
Some feel now that both Lyons and Mackey Sasser throw better than Gary Carter.
1-0 Mets, middle of the fourth. Rolled toward the hole. Backman with a diving stop. Got him. So Palmeiro, the league's leading hitter, at .343 coming into the game, is robbed of a hit. Now 0 for 3 this afternoon, and after 5.5, still 1-0 Mets.
Sculpture has been thinking about for all these years. You know, when you have a Keith Hernandez playing to your left as a second base, today it's Magadan, of course, you normally shade more up the middle. And that's the kind of player.
He's
just what
in
you
the
got.
punishments. All right, Strawberry's doubled and walked. Smacks one to center. Back goes Martinez. Stumbles on the track, and it hits the fence. It was playable until he fell down. Magadan coming home. Strawberry has a triple. The wet turf turned what could have been a long out into an RBI triple.
And there's a little rise right there at the edge of the turf and the little cinder track. Would have been catchable. Would have gotten there when he took his eye off the ball, started running sideways. He looked for the warning track. Most outfielders, and of course, they do not have a warning track in Wrigley Field. And you don't know where you are. I don't believe they do. Did they put one in lately? Okay, I'll backtrack on alcohol test.
The 2-2 pitch. He slaps it by the diving Law. And the Mets have a 3-0 lead. Just what you were talking about earlier, Tony.
Well, those backdoor breaking balls can be very effective. If you got the right umpire behind home plate, an undisciplined hitter. But he tried it once too often.
Or cream soda. Following in the footsteps of such celebrated oddballs as Jay Johnstone and Tug McGraw, meet baseball's newest clown prince, Mets relief pitcher Roger McDowell. His gags include teammate impersonations and his soon-to-be famous dugout handstand.
The worst part about that was I had to put my uniform pants on, and you know, I'm kind of tall and thin, and there wasn't a whole lot of room, so I had to put my head in with one of my arms, which looked like one of my legs. Next time, I think we're going to get Rusty Staub's old pants so that we have that baggage there and have the extra added area where I can put my head in, and hopefully it'll look a little bit more realistic.
All right, Roger, we'll wait with bated breath for that one, but for now, welcome to the club. You're a most inventive character of the game.
Pound him right back in there.
Goes away, reaches for it, slow roller, good play by Darling, but there was no one at third. His thought was to continue with his momentum and just shovel the ball over to Howard Johnson for a possible force, which would have been a spectacular play, but Hojo held up completely in the Laker-Mavericks series. Home team won every game. Lakers prevail in 7, and of course they'll have the home floor, and had scored. He came in with the bases loaded and nobody out. He walked the pinch hitter Darren Jackson to force home. Broken bat grounded to second. All they could get was the out at first as another run came in. So suddenly it's a one-run game at 3-2. Nobody was contemplating any change from that. Looks like he got out of it. Elster in a hurry. Got him, but barely.
That's why you tell the mettle of a middle infielder, especially a shortstop. Jose Martinez will argue with Bob Engel, the first base umpire, but when you make a play under pressure with Sandberg running, you got a good jump out of the batter's box because he was going out after a pitch, and that was Kevin Elster.
They scored 2, leave the bases loaded, and it's 3-2 Mets. Sandberg reaches for it.
Great footwork. Elster had the runner off second, flash in front of him, and there was an argument on the play, but from that angle you see that they had him by maybe a few inches. It was a bang-bang play, and Engel,
who was 2 for 3 against Darling. He's hit 6 homers this year, and he laces one into the glove of Elster. What a great play. That ball was just a blur.
You can take all the physical attributes you want, and your best athlete's going to be your shortstop. We all know that. But the one thing, the criteria that is very seldom used to rate shortstop is, does he make the big play late in the game? Now, he's made 3 with this one now. Outstanding plays late in the ball game. When Howard Johnson ran in front of him to barely get Sandberg with a runner going across, a good runner, and now he makes this one. And he has the foresight to come down to one. He is 0 for 11 as a pinch hitter.
First pitch swinging, and he comes through. The game is tied and then some. The Cubs have the lead. 4-3 Chicago. They have 8 hits, 7 of them in the 8th and 9th. 7 singles in the last 2 innings. Darling will not be a winner today.
To have veterans coming off the bench.
Backman can. His play is to first. Palmeiro goes 0 for 5. His batting average as of this moment, Steve Horn tells us, is .335. But far more importantly, 2 RBIs on the pinch single by Trio. 4-3 Cubs.
Now his fastball is no longer 99, 98. It's in the low 90s.
And Johnson hammers the first pitch for a base hit. The Mets' 9th inning and extra inning comebacks all season, and especially this week, have been astounding. They won 1 in extra innings after trailing 4-2 after the top of the 10th against the Dodgers. Elster wound up winning it with an extra inning homer. The next night they came back and rallied in the 9th and barely fell short. They trailed 1-0 in the 10th here Thursday, came back and won. He gets the bunt down in front of the plate. Jody Davis makes the play. Sandberg covers. Successful sacrifice. Elster is due to be the hitter. He's won. Mazzilli's RBI pinch single with 2 out in the bottom of the 10th tied the game on Thursday night. This ball might drop in. It's going to drop. Let's see if Perlazo waves him home. No, they stop him at third.
Howard Johnson didn't read that ball well at all. The ball, if he had checked his outfield, Dawson was playing fairly deeply for Mazzilli. Was nowhere near to catching it. He hesitated between second and third. Obviously, he didn't want to get doubled off, and there still is only 1 out. If there are a lot of base runners who had read that right, they would have scored.
Now, here's an interesting move. Mookie Wilson was on deck. He's been called back, and it's Carter who's appeared in the on-deck circle.
Well, stop. So his rhythm may be upset with this new ball play being called.
The 0-1 pitch. Hit toward the hole and through. The Mets have tied it. An unbelievable ball game. Mazzilli stops at second on the pinch single by Carter. Just joining us. Darling had a 1-hitter through 7. The Cubs got 7 singles combined in the 8th and 9th off Darling and 2 relievers. We're going to extra innings at Shea Stadium. Carter came through and will play at least 1 more.
Another one you could question. He'd had Magadan in there. Still had Hernandez bat left. For extra innings. He's in the lineup, but you can't place him where you want to. At least
slightly over 300 for the season. Leach with the payoff. A little pop into shallow center field. It might drop in. Dykstra racing hard, and he got there. Oh, he had a lot of ground to cover. He was playing Davis deep in center.
He took one step back, got fooled, didn't realize the ball's hit on the end of the bat, and then with that quickness, and some say he's the best athlete on this team, he all but outruns the ball, makes a nice running catch.
He might not be the best. There's no one any more fearless. He'll run into walls, dive headlong. He got it done there.
Turned into evening last night here at Shea as Kevin McReynolds led off the bottom of the 13th inning with a home run into the left field bullpen to give the Mets another dramatic victory, a 6-5 win over the Chicago Cubs. The third time in a week that the Mets had won in extra innings on a home run, and the 10th time this season they have won a game in their final at-bat. Again, they conclude